Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today we'll talk about the government shutdown and its impact on immigration files. What are the things that are impacted, and in particular people who are being laid off on H1B, how are they impacted? We'll also talk about the 485 Supplement J. When is it really required to be filed and what is its purpose? And then we'll get some clarification for students on the 100,000 fee for H1B. So a lot of important topics. Watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now check out the links in the description because those are affiliate links, and if you find something interesting, that will also help the channel. And while you are down there, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because only 30% of my viewers are my subscribers. A lot of you guys have been watching my videos for a long time. If you find the content useful, please consider subscribing because that will greatly help me. And as usual, put your comments in the comment section so that people can respond to your comments and maybe you will get your question answered. I will also try to respond to as many comments as possible. And as usual, every 2 months I do a giveaway. It will also put you into the next giveaway. Now let's talk about the first topic of today, which is the government shutdown. The government shutdown began back in September 19th and it still continues to the day. I think there have been 8 or 9 votes in the Senate that did not go anywhere. There is a stalemate, there is a disagreement on the fundings, and we don't yet see a resolution. Now this is the third longest shutdown in the US history, that's what they say, and here's the article. The government shutdown is on day 90th with no end in sight after senators failed for the 10th time to resolve the impasse in the votes on Thursday. The shutdown is now the third longest funding lapse in the modern history, eclipsed by the shutdown in 1995 and 2018-19. Shutdowns are relatively recent phenomena, having only begun their current form in 1980. Now really the question is, what does it mean to you? Now what does it mean is all the government agencies that are funded through taxpayers are impacted, such as Department of Labor. Now Department of Labor in particular, because that impacts your immigration petitions or non-immigrant petitions as well. Now USCIS is technically not impacted. The reason is USCIS is funded by your fees. The fees that you pay for your petition actually funds USCIS. So they will not be impacted. But what will be impacted is anything that goes to Department of Labor, such as LCA application or prevailing wages application. So those things are going to take some time. Until the government shutdown is lifted, those things will not be processed. And when they are lifted, there will be a backlog of cases for them to process. So you can expect some delay in the LCA filings or also in the labor certification filing.
And that brings me to the sponsor of today's video. Have you ever done the Google search of your own name? Look what I have found when I did mine. Here's what comes up. While some of this information is relevant, the other makes me uncomfortable that my information is exposed for a sale like this. Data brokers sell your information to scammers, spammers, or anybody else who may want to target you. Your full name, email address, home address, your relatives' names, health information, it's all out there. That's why I have been using Aura, sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out request for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it also protects me from hackers who could use this information to help them access my social media accounts, bank accounts, or other sensitive information. Aura does so much more to protect my information and my family's information from online threats I can't see. I get other features like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft insurance, and more without having to download several different apps. It's really easy to set up, and best of all, I get everything for one affordable price. You may already have 1 or 2 of these tools, but not having Aura is like locking the front door but leaving your back door wide open. Aura is always on, doing the hard work of keeping me safe so I can focus on other tasks with peace of mind. I value my privacy and I value yours. You can go to my link which is on the screen and in the description and start your free 2 weeks trial. So protect your information, your family, and have a peace of mind. That's Aura.
So you can expect some delay in the LCA filing and also the prevailing wage filing. Now Department of Labor also takes PERM. The PERM applications may also be impacted. So those are the things you need to make sure. Now who is the biggest impact? Now as it is, PERM applications are taking 12 to 15 months to process on a routine basis. They may even be more delayed after this because of the shutdown. Now another critical impact is people who are on H1B. When they are doing the transfers, when they are doing the H1B transfers, those things require LCA, the new LCA, because the location changes, your job may change, and so on. So basically, then the new company will need to file your LCA, and that's when they will file their amendment or transfer petition. So there are a couple of people who have contacted me saying that they just lost their job, or they are in the process of changing their job, and while their H1B transfer has to be processed, they are stuck at LCA, and this is true. Now there are a couple of options here where they could use the fact that these things of government shutdown are not under your control. So USCIS should not hold up your case just because the government agencies aren't able to process their part. Now this usually works and many lawyers have successfully passed this, but in the current scenario, there will be challenge to that. So basically what I'm saying is there may not be a possibility of bypassing the LCA to process your H1B. Talk to your lawyer. There are some lawyers, they will proactively submit this non-proton petition based on saying that these things are not in your control, and whenever the LCA becomes available, we'll submit it to the petition. But that may not work in this current scenario. Put down in the comment section below if you have gotten your approval for H1B transfer cases during this shutdown period. This information will be incredibly valuable to people who are going through this process. I can understand the frustration this may have caused to a lot of people, but it is what it is. Talk to your lawyer. Some lawyers are really creative in filing these petitions of transfers with the explanation that the LCA is not in your control due to government shutdown, and they will submit it as soon as it becomes available. Now, in those cases, what you should do if you lose your job and if you have gotten another job within 60 days, but you are just not able to file the transfer petition, go on B1, B2. Submit your petition online for B1, B2 transfer. This is a change of status. The change of status to B1, B2 will not happen immediately. It takes a couple of months. But in the meantime, if the government shutdown is removed and if your LCA is processed, then you will get your transfer or H1B transfer processed, and then you can cancel your change of status to B1, B2. So put down in the comment section below if there is any confusion, because I got a couple of calls on these particular topics in the last couple of weeks. So if you have any questions, contact me on my Calendly if you want to have a conversation with me. I will tell you my perspective on what you should do in this scenario. Obviously, each and every case that you file with USCIS, you should go through a competent immigration lawyer. That does not change, but at least you will get some pointers from me regarding what are your options and what is the best option to take. And by the way, when you change your status to B1, B2 from H1B, you can stay in the United States. You can get out of that clock of 60 days. But mind you, you cannot work because B2 visa will not allow you to work in the United States. You will need to go to H1B before you can start your work. Now, there is also something called compelling circumstances, EAD, in very particular situation, very specific situations. And I have helped few people go through that process and get their EAD in the compelling circumstances. If you want to talk to me about your particular situation, when you can get that compelling circumstance EAD, if you are in the job loss or job change scenario where you are not able to meet that 60-day deadline, contact me on my Calendly and I'll give you some options. Now interesting thing is even the Supreme Court comes under this government shutdown. So their building will be closed, although they will be working on the cases. Now, one of the important cases or decisions that Supreme Court has made is regarding H4 and H4 EAD. They have said that they are not going to cancel it. They are not going to make any decision on it. In fact, there was a case filed to the Supreme Court. They didn't even accept it. So they are punting it back to the president to make that decision whether to continue or not the H4 EAD. So for now, it is good news for H4 EAD holders. This process continues. Now let's talk about the Supplement J. What is Supplement J? Now Supplement J is not really a 485 application. Now Supplement J is a different petition than 485. people often get confused with supplement J versus 485. Now, what is this used for? So say for instance, you are in 485 and your dates are not current. So you are waiting on 485 for a very long time. That is a very common scenario with the backlog countries such as India. So what happens is you continue to extend your EAD and AP until you get your green card. Now, in the meantime, if you lose your job, depending on how much time has passed since you applied for your 485, you'll be eligible to port your job to a new employer without impacting your 485 or your green card process. That happens if you have been waiting on your 485 or pending 485 for 6 months, 180 days. So if you have been waiting on 485 for more than 6 months, you can actually change your job in the same job classification, mind you, that is equal to your I-140 job. So in this case, what you do is you submit a 485 supplement J. Now this supplement J is basically what it says is it's a confirmation of valid job offer or request for job portability under INA section 204J. So that's why it's called supplement J. Now this is to confirm that the job offered to you in the form I-140 remains a valid job offer that you intend to accept when we approve your case. Or it also says that if you are filing a previously filed 485 being on a beneficiary of a valid 140 in an employment-based visa category that requires a job offer, you must file a supplement J instead of submitting a job offer letter. So when you join the new employer, you should get the supplement J signed by your new employer and then state that this new job is similar classification to your original job that had your I-140 approved. And when do you submit this supplement J? You are expected to submit this supplement J as soon as you change your job, as soon as you get your new signature from your new employer, or when you get called for an interview. That is also a good time to take a supplement J along with you to give it to the visa officer. Now you might ask, is it job change outside of the company, like company to company, or is it also required for a job change within the company? Technically, you are also required to submit a new supplement J if you change your job within the company as well. So basically, you are telling that you have gotten a new job, which is also the same job classification as your original job, which was stated in your I-140, even if it's within the company. So hope this thing is clear regarding the supplement J. If you have any more questions or doubt regarding I-485 supplement J, put down in the comment section below or contact me on my Calendly. And the last thing I wanted to clarify is about the 100,000 fees for H1B. Now I wanted to specifically talk about the students who are scheduled to get or scheduled to apply for their H1B while they are on OPT in the March or April timeframe of 2026. Will they be impacted? So as long as the students are within the United States, they have gotten their new job, they got their employer to file their H1B while being in the United States, this H1B 100,000 fee will not apply to you. That is the way I read it right now. So my interpretation of all of this is, although we haven't got any more clarification on this, is that anybody coming from outside of the United States who is applying for the first time H1B or a fresh H1B will be impacted. And that too, if you are going for a stamping or things like that, you will not be impacted. But if you are going for a H1B stamping for the first time, that is when you might be impacted. Now, take this with a grain of salt. We need to find out more details about this if and when it comes. I'll be sure to make a clarification video on that as soon as we get that information. So that's all really I wanted to say in this video. If you want to contact me, do contact me on Calendly. My new EB1A class is happening in the second week of November. So check out that link on the screen if you want to attend my EB1A masterclass. And if you like the content of this video, hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. And I'll see you in the next one.